Hey everyone. So a few weeks ago, I did tell you guys that I'd be interviewing a senior of mine, and she's special to me just because we delve into the same uh, field together, which is music therapy. Of course, I started off with wanting just to do music psychology research, but then over years, over months, over like days of us working together and hanging out with each other at the music department of UPM, I realized that actually music therapy has this powerful strength to it, has a powerful focus to it. And she is the one that actually helps me to realize what those strengths are, how it can be used, why it can be. I mean, like, she is a bit different because she does dabble in other populations and she uses different instruments for her activities and other aspects as well. But at the same time, I realized that she's my music therapy sister. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to introduce to you my music therapy sister, Miss Jing Wen. Hey.
Hi. Hi. I am I graduate from UPM, same as Bobby. So I graduated from 2018, and I have been exploring music therapy since then. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So,
Okay.
what have you been up to like recently throughout this year, last year?
Last year, yeah, since last year, right? Because of MCO period, so I decided to really uh, teach first, teach, but because MCO period, so teach online. Yeah. So previous year, like 2019, I have been participate for the music research
Mm-hmm.
for the UPM. So I have been presenting my papers. Then after that, maybe I will think about it, or actually maybe pursue for masters in music therapies later. Not now
Nice.
currently,
Mm.
but maybe 2 years or 3 years later, until I found out what is my goal, direction, etc. Yeah,
And when we can travel,
yeah, true.
yeah.
Yes, actually, I did apply for UKM,
Uh-huh.
2019. Yeah, I actually applied for UKM Masters Educational Psychology
Uh-huh.
master course, but then I didn't get into it. So maybe I will apply for overseas music therapies after that.
So you were saying like you were presenting about your research papers. Ooh, papers.
Yes,
Paper.
yes, yes, research papers for my degree courses. Just wanted to try out whether how does it feel like
Yeah.
we doing again presentation, etc. Yeah.
Which journal did you get into?
Sorry?
Which journal did you get into? Nah, just kidding.
No lah.
Not yet, not
Just
yet.
presenting. Yeah, not yet. Presenting, just presenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your research about your FYP, your final year project? Tell us about it.
Um, okay. So basically, I'm doing for my FYP is uh, children with dyslexia. So it's a exploring music-based uh, project. I would say exploratory studies
Mhm.
in music-based form to help children with dyslexia, especially for reading skills, because dyslexia is a term that children with dyslexia have problems with spelling or decoding words,
Mhm.
so they have reading disabilities. Yeah, so I try to use music like singing, etc., to help children to read or decoding as well.
Mhm.
Yes. Mm.
And where was
So,
this?
I actually volunteer for the Ampang Dyslexia Association Malaysia. Yeah, so it's a center there. So I just went there and then volunteer myself.
Mhm.
And I actually started my FIP research data there. Yeah. So before like really go into the FYP, I actually get to know and understand how does it uh, teach children with dyslexia. Yeah.
Oh, that's so lucky. So even before the research itself, you already had some experience in doing that.
Yes. Yes. To also to make sure whether this topic or this subject is it I really want to go in depth. Yeah,
And did you?
because it's a challenge as well. Yeah.
And did you find out like you really wanted to go in that, or you just wanted to do it because you're curious, or?
Yes, that's also part of it.
Uh-huh.
Part of it. Yeah, because not all research is related to learning disability.
Yeah.
More on special need children, like for example, autism
Mhm.
or Down syndrome or a lot of special need children, but not specifically in children with dyslexia. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, now that you mentioned that, that's a very interesting point. Like, why specifically dyslexia? Because, okay, so there's 2 points to this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's your curiosity towards dyslexia specifically, and is there
Mm-hmm.
actually a difference for like kids with autism, ASD, kids with Down syndrome? So, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to clarify. In our degree program, our bachelor's in music program, we actually go through a introductory course in special education, music therapy, and in child development. So we actually dabble in these ASD, autism spectrum disorder, and uh, verbal disabilities, and children with sight disabilities, children that cannot hear, and children with Down syndrome, and so on. So, is there a reason that you chose not to work with the other kinds of disabilities?
I actually got interested because part of the reasons is because my brother has dyslexia.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I wanted to know whether it's a genetic form or maybe it's a purely just sometimes their brain function differently.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason also lah. Mm,
Yeah.
yes.
And what did you find out? Like, what did your research show?
Oh, through research, I found that it's not entirely genetic cause, but their brains function differently. Means that their brain, maybe the visual or the listening part, the oral part, so maybe they cannot differentiate the sound, phonemic awareness, the
Uh-huh.
sound of the letter names, or they cannot blend in together.
Yeah.
That's why they have disability to blend or decoding the words.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
And that doesn't happen with those other kind of disabilities, the other neurodiverse children.
Uh, no, no, no. Just learning disability. Yes. So they don't. It means like a normal kid,
Mhm.
which when which is when you present them a passage and then you ask them to read a storytelling,
Mhm.
then they have problems with that. Maybe their brains function different, like B to D,
Mhm.
or maybe they reflect like mirror writing. Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes it
yeah,
works like that.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yes. So other than that, they are okay. Yeah. If you let them to do other thing like drawing, mathematics,
Play
yeah,
music.
they are okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why they require more on multisensory approach.
Mhm.
Yeah, yes.
So without looking at it from an academic perspective, right? Just
Mhm.
you personally, do you actually agree when people say that children with disabilities, not only children, people in general with disabilities, either all those disabilities that we mentioned, they actually have a higher sense of artistic value. Like they can play music better, they can draw better, they can, I don't know, if for those that can't see, they can hear better, and those that can't hear, they can see better or something like that. Do you actually see like an improved level of musicality in these dyslexic children compared to the
I think yes, because when they cannot write, then they tend to draw more. So that's why if they draw more, they can actually really help them in overcoming the difficulties, the disability. So, for example, my brother, right, even though he cannot write that well, but he uses drawing. So that's why his teacher approached him with mind mapping, which is very easy, which is easier for him to understand instead of the whole paragraph or the whole thing. Yeah, you just have to write down your notes in mind mapping form or bullet journal. So it's actually easier for them. And then they can draw, that they can remember. Yeah. Yeah. I saw some of the teachers in the DMA, Dyslexia Association, Dyslexia Malaysia Association, yeah, DMA. They actually let the students to do the storytelling part, like easy, like the Peter and Jean, something like that. Yeah, so for example, the cat is on the table. Yeah, and then the cat is under the table. So on and under, which way is on, which way is under the table. So it's a repeated words within the sentence, but the comprehension part is different. And also they have these letter names with sandpaper, so they can touch, and then they will ask them to write, not like write on the paper, but ask them to touch and then feel it, and then they will know how does the pattern of the letter name, like the big letter A and the small letter A. So what is the difference? So they can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even the sand drawing part, not sand drawing, what is that called? The magnetic sand drawing.
I know the
Sand drawing.
sand glue thing.
Yes. So they will actually write on it. Yeah, because some of the students, they will feel like writing again. Why want to write on the papers? Because they will feel like I don't want to write anymore. Because they have been writing in schools. So that's why when it comes to the center, so they will let them have some easier approach for them. Still learning, but the different kind of approach. Yeah.
So you mentioned all the drawing and the writing and the coloring, the sand activities.
Yes.
You still haven't mentioned any music parts, so I'm still curious. Like,
yes, for the music parts, right? Oh yeah, you mean for my FYP or the center doing for the music?
In general, like you did mention that they actually prefer drawing and all, but do they actually prefer playing music to tell their story or to actually explain something?
Yes, but when they tell stories, they don't have music approach more, even though they have an organ in the center, but they don't have music teacher to teach them the music part. So a lot of them sitting in the classroom, and then teacher teach them how to do it, etc. So when I came in, so I let some of the students to listen to some songs that they are familiar, like Humpty Dumpty, or maybe Baba Black Sheep, etc., etc. Yeah. So some simple lyrics or the folk tunes that they remember, and then ask them if they can recognize the word in the lyrics. Like for example, Rasa Sayang. If Rasa, they can immediately recognize the word. The simple part, like R-A Ra, S-A Sa, Ra Sa, like this. Yeah. So this is the musical part that I'm doing for my FYP. Yes. But actually in my FYP, right, I actually let the students to listen more in rap song, rap genre in Humpty Dumpty, like Humpty Dum, Humpty Dumpty, like this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because they have formulating syntax, which means inability to blend letter sounds. So when you blend in Humpty Dum, then you can really blend words together. Yeah.
Oh,
So decoding and also helps them in reading as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Because singing a rap song, right, you have to be fluent, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of rhythm, the lyrics, everything.
Yeah.
So it's also quite fun for them.
Yeah. So do you actually make songs with them? Not like just now you change the lyrics or change the genre of singing. Do you compose songs with them?
No, actually, but because I'm approaching children, so I use a lot of children's songs which is applicable, can use in their lives. I mean, daily life. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. So I actually search in YouTube. So what kind of folk tune songs they can, if they are able to understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So things like score lyric analysis, like in other music therapy approaches, there are lyric analysis or lyric composition. You write down your own. That doesn't work for these children.
Yeah, no, because my project is exploratory studies, right? So specifically to help them in prosodic cues,
Mm-hmm.
which means to help them better understanding in decoding first,
Mm-hmm.
and then blending the letters names. So these are the abilities that they will need to use in reading.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, comprehension part, or after that, a grammar part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's much more easier than uh, maybe children with autism or
Mm-hmm.
children with Down syndrome. It's much more simpler, lah, I would say like that.
Oh,
Yes.
that's good.
Reading part. Yeah. Yes.
So, do you still do all this with the children until today? Maybe not until today, lah, until like recently.
I think until 2019,
Uh-huh.
but I still get into other areas of music therapy,
Uh-huh.
like for example, Dr. Ang's project, hand in hand project,
Ah,
etc.
yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, under UPM's music department, we do have a lecturer named Dr. Ang Mei Fong, and she has worked with the population, the what do you call that? The Parkinson's population. And there's actually an association in Malaysia called the MPDA, the Malaysian Parkinson's Disease Association. And they have come to UPM quite a few times to participate in the choir performances or in performances, events that specifically highlight to raise highlight their population, to raise the awareness and to show that they are still capable people, despite what society might think otherwise. So yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so I think around 2019. Yeah, after that, then maybe I will start. I mean, currently start teaching first, then after later I can go overseas. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because need to prepare for the documents, etc. Mm. But first need to find the goal. What kind of direction that I want to do in maybe future 5 years or 10 years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, true.
actually, speaking of which, right now that you did mention that choir with Dr. Ang, do you actually see that your way to approach people changed before and after your research? Like, imagine if you didn't do your research, but then you help Dr. Ang with those performances, those hand in hand performance, right? Do you think you would have handled it differently?
Um, I think one of the aspects that they share in common is that they
They,
have
they as in the MPDA and
NPDA and also children with
oh,
dyslexia.
okay.
they share in one part in common is that they have low esteem, that they are not to voice out. Yeah. So the confident part, which we need to encourage more to speak out, voice out. Yeah. Other than that, I think similar. Some parts are similar. Some parts. Yeah.
Some
And
parts
also
of
the cognitive skills as well.
Mhm.
Cognitive skills because their brains function differently.
Yeah.
So the pattern, so you have to redo it or practice it more. Yeah, to help them better understanding. Yeah,
Nice.
just like MPDA, they have to voice say the word right.
Mhm.
Some yes, I think similar. Lah. Hmm.
And in everything that you do, you still have to apply a big chunk of your music skills, right? Because I keep imagining if it's like for me working with dementia clients, it's a bit more accessible because I can just have it's either I bring my own percussion or I would have like household items and play with the clients. But for you, you play violin, if I'm not mistaken, you
And
play
piano,
violin and
yeah,
you play piano.
piano.
So do you actually like bring your keyboard or bring a not a piano lah, obviously, but do you bring your keyboard and your violins around to work with these kids or with the LPDA? No.
I actually downloaded the songs so easier for them to listen
Mm-hmm.
and also play back as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't like play instruments with them,
No, no, not really. Yeah.
which is not a big problem. It's just that I'm asking specifically on the methods of your application. So whereby
Mm,
you're because some people always say that a lot of people in society, the general public, they always say like, oh, music therapy is easy. You just play music with the kids, and especially like uh these kind of kids, you just play a song and then you sing with them. So it's so much easier, right? You don't need
mm.
music skills. Yeah. So that's why I'm asking, like, do you actually apply your music skills? And if so, in what way?
I think just singing part more.
Mhm.
And also, like you mentioned just now, score reading analysis.
Mhm.
Eh, yeah. Score reading analysis.
Mm.
So most of the music therapists they will either use the songs available or they compose their own. Yeah. So that part is also we need to like really how to say
Encourage.
uh
We need to work on
yeah
it.
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it must be clear that neither of us, Miss Jing Wen here or me, or before this, in an episode before this, I have had my colleague, Miss Tan NG. Neither of us are music therapists. We are all training under a music therapist, which is Dr. Indra of UPM. And it must be clear that everything we do, it's music therapy based activities, not specifically music therapy, because it is unethical and it's quite strictly speaking illegal to actually uh, just go into public and say, we are music therapy. So we are not, just to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in everything that you do, right, I did see that you were, like you said, you were teaching. And I remember last year or 2 years ago, like you were doing like recording, you were helping people with their home recording or something like that.
Yeah, that one is for Dr. Ang's album.
Uh-huh.
So she has her own album. So I just help to take part in it because she needs people. And then I just help. Yeah. But other than that, I think you other than Dr. Ang's project, right?
Yeah.
You know what's that called? Uh, Dr. Chan. Yeah, Dr. Chan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he has some projects with Sayuri.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has this fusion lab intervention program.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I took part years ago lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You know, she can play the marimba very well.
Yeah.
And she goes for work. Yeah.
Yeah, in the episode before, I was talking to Peng about her
Mm.
experiences in jazz, and we actually talked about this.
Yes. So you know, Sayuri is, yeah, she's special, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
So
you worked with her during the years that she was in Bentley, if I'm not mistaken. She did a performance. Or actually she did two performances in Bentley, right? Like two different years. Yeah.
yes. In UPM also,
Uh-huh.
I think UPM also two performances. One
Yeah.
is in music house, and then the other one is
And
in big hall
yeah.
where
Yeah.
the ambassadors come. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what about that? Did you like pull out your tips and tricks and help Sayuri,
No,
or you just
just just stand behind as a staff and then just watch and then help out. But and
that
then it's interesting as well, lah. You know that when the teacher or the person who helps them educates them very well, she actually can go very far. You know, she can
yeah.
improvise, etc. Oh, we'll
I'm
feel like amazed, inspired. Yeah.
Yeah. Not just
Yeah.
imitating, but actually like applying her own musicality. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So interesting. That's one of the interesting part that I joined years ago. Lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I wouldn't say just to mention this. I don't think you did nothing lah as a staff. I think you did what a lot of researchers do. Yeah, exactly.
So
Step
yeah,
back, observe. So like your
yes, because
resting time, you write down.
no lah, no lah. Just yeah, just observe because back then we have a lot of lecturers doing their research stuff.
Mhm.
Like for example, Dr. Indra has her music therapy optimism seminar.
Yeah.
So Dr. Chan also has uh, his fusion lab with Sayuri project.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why that time I was like, oh, inspired. I want to become a music therapist because I can like observe and then can like really go in depth with the client, patient, not patient, I mean client lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Mother Ang has MPDA.
Hmm.
It's like, whoa, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
What
remember that you are one of the earlier generations. I don't know if you were the first generation, but you carried out that music care seminar at Bentley in 2015, I think, right?
for 15, 14, 15 lah.
2015. Yeah,
15,
yeah. That was
15.
specifically for uh oh okay, I'm just gonna try this. I don't know. I think I might be very wrong about this. Like music care seminar
Yes, music
for
seminar.
raising awareness for music and autism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole project is called Music Therapy Optimism Seminar UPM Music Cares.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was in Bentley. No. I mean you're nearly
Yeah.
yeah. The topic is that.
The
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah. So that one, that's the first project that I encountered with in music therapy.
Mhm.
The first one. Then after that is music as a catalyst in community,
Uh-huh.
which is a second round of UPM music class in Help University.
When was this?
That
I
one
didn't know
is
about this.
yeah. That one was after I think second year, third year in
Oh,
Help Universities.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dr. Indra actually invited some lecturers from FSU,
Uh-huh.
Florida Music University. Yeah. So she invited them come over for introducing music therapies. Yeah.
At Help, the one at Help University.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And then of
First
course,
generation. I wouldn't say I was first generation lah. Just the earlier period lah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah. And of course, you did join
Yeah.
the Music Hills in 2019, the one that I joined as well. Yeah. So that was the
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. And then Dr. Ang's project,
Yeah.
and then Dr. Chan's project. Yeah. So a lot of our projects really like based in music therapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why like I want to become a music therapist. Yeah, the direction lah.
Yeah. And you also joined the team in carrying out music therapy based activities under Dr. Indra in Cheras Rehab Center as well, right?
Yes, voice rehabilitation project. Yeah,
Voice Rehab Project. Okay.
yeah, that one I think that's before MPDA. So
Oh, okay.
we went to Ras Rehabilitation Center. Yeah, so that was before Dr. Ang started her project.
Mhm.
So she was trying out. So we went there and then we saw a lot of clients there.
Mm.
Yeah. Then after that, MPDA. Yeah.
So with all these experiences that you have, right, working with dyslexic children, working with people with Parkinson's, people with people that stroke survivors or TBI survivors, traumatic brain injury survivors in the hospital, and carrying out all these seminars. What's that one point that you wish you would do? Like you were saying, like, for your master study, you do want to carry out your master's abroad, but you're trying to find that goal. What do you think that one population that you want to work with is from all these different experiences that you have?
I would say I really wanted to try out in the hospital.
Hospital for children, elders.
Not just children, but like the rehabilitation. I mean the CRH.
Oh,
CRH. Just work with the clients inside,
mm-mm.
not specifically children. Maybe older. I mean, no matter it's children or elders, just work with them.
Yeah, actually that's true. It doesn't really matter who it is, right? That's what you're
Yes,
saying. You don't have a preference. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
It's fun, when we are doing the group projects together. And then Dr. Indra's, what's that called? The choir from Sedang Auntie, they came.
U3A.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, that one brings back memory.
so ladies and gentlemen, there is an elders choir under the U3A, the University of the Third Age. Yeah. So they're under the U3A organization. And in a lot of works that Dr. Indra carries out, that the students like us actually join, these elderly friends, I think you can call them friends at this point, they will always tag along. They are like 70, 60, 70, 80-year old aunties and uncles. And they are the most powerful voices when it comes to advocating for music therapy or music in general for elder care. So imagine like 70-year-old, 80-year-olds, really active. I think more active than me in carrying out music activities. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they started the choir project, under Dr. Indra, right? So they actually really like go in depth in music.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even have music theory lessons.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, with Rachel or something.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, wow, interesting, you know. And then still have a lots of events outside. Yeah, then choir, karaoke,
Yeah,
hiking, etc. Like, wow,
cannot.
they are very passionate. Yeah.
Full of energy. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know from where.
Yes, yes, yes. So when we went to CRH, right,
Uh-huh.
we students are like very timid and shy.
Yeah.
Like, please follow us. But they are like, come on. Right.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Like, they are very
Yeah.
best lah.
Yeah.
Best candidate. Mm.
I really miss.
Gee.
Yeah. I really miss like carrying out activities with them, as I'm sure you do as well.
True, true, true. Yeah. So interesting. Mm.
So
Over 4 years, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. So with all that you've learned, right, what do you think like is the best advice for the newer generations who might be interested in this music therapy field? Like anything you
Maybe
want to say?
okay. Maybe try out different populations. Like really, like join a lot of activities, like what we do, and really make sure that this is what I really want to do in music therapy. Find the goal direction before you really went for music therapist program.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I actually knew one music therapist who came back 2018 when Dr. Indra. I thought it's your batch, right?
Yeah. Is
Is
it
it your
the
batch or the?
Alexandra?
Ah,
Yeah.
wait. No, I remember it's a talk in music. I mean the faculty there. Did
Music.
you join? I think you joined, right?
I'm pretty sure I joined on, but I'm not sure there's a lot.
There's a
Music
lot.
therapies.
I remember it's a music talk seminar
Uh-huh.
in 2019 or 18, I forgot. I think
Nine,
it's 19.
the one with the
Like,
FSU, like Dr. Laurie.
yes, 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 yes,
Yeah, that
yes.
one. That one I was handling also. That was the one that I was
Yes,
handling.
yes,
The Music
yes.
Heals conference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew one music therapist who just came back from the Australia, the Melbourne University.
Uh-huh.
She is working in
Oasis
Oasis.
Place.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
There's a center there.
who
Yeah,
is it?
Taiwan, I think.
Okay.
Taiwan.
Kaiwan. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah. I
maybe.
thought yeah. I thought the one you were talking about is Ike Hui. That one is from New York. She did the
Oh,
Alexandra technique, uh the physical rehabilitation thing using for
oh,
specifically for musicians or like uh art students lah. Alexandra technique. Yeah. I thought you were talking about
oh.
her. Yeah.
Oh no, the other one, I think.
Yeah.
The other one,
Kaiwan.
Taiwan.
Oh,
Yeah. So I just want to share one thing, like you mentioned just now, right? Um, about wanting to go into music therapy. Yeah, actually, I started to teach one private student, which Dr. Indra introduced me.
mhm.
So he's a autistic kid.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I just taught him for half a year. I mean 6 months, around 6 months.
Mhm.
Around 6 months. Yeah. So that's the beginning part that I find challenging.
Stress.
Yes. Yes. And then he's not a kid. He's I think around teenager, 13,
Oh,
14.
oh.
yeah, it's very hard to control because kids with autism, they don't interact very well, especially with strangers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then I have to teach him music. Yeah, so that's the part when I feel like, "Wow, if I am the music therapist, maybe I can help him more like this." Yeah, but that's the part when I found out that, oh, I really don't have much patience or passionate in helping children with special needs.
Yeah.
Mm,
Nice. So
yeah.
now that you mentioned that, I just have to ask an honest question, if you don't mind. Do you think it's because you wanted to work with special needs children, these neurodiverse children, that you went into music therapy? Or is it because you had to join a lot of these activities? You happen to join activities that are music
Oh,
therapy?
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's just that when it started out in music care autism,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I just found out that not necessarily I have to be a teacher. I can be someone that can help everyone.
Ah,
Mm, yeah, it's like a mission.
yeah, yeah. It's a very
Yeah,
good mission to have. Huh?
yeah, it's like a mission. Yeah. Mm. It's not that, yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just happens like everything's in music therapy form,
Yeah,
which is which is a good thing because I can know, oh, it's a different world than music education. You
yeah,
know?
that's the thing. That's why I asked, because some people might think you chose music therapy not because you chose, but because it chose you. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So yeah, do you think that's not true? It chose you, but also you chose it, or is it really just it chose you and you had no other choice?
I still have choices, right?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Just try different, like step out of your comfort zone.
mhm,
Yeah, all before entering UPM, right?
mhm,
I thought that I was becoming a teacher. I just want to be a teacher.
yeah,
Yeah, after that, then I've realized that I can do something more than that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so just like Prof. Mahdi, he always told us that just step out your comfort zone. You will
yes,
realize that you see a different perspective of the world,
mhm,
and then you can try out something that you dare not to try, like
yes,
composing, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I haven't tried out that yet, but like what you say, like it's not the same, lah.
mhm, mhm.
Mm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we end, actually, I just have to add that Professor Made Mentalhood, he used to teach us a bit of ethnomusicology in UPM, and he was from Hawaii, and then he came to UPM, and then he transferred in 2018, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to University of Tainan University in Taiwan. So yeah, as you can see, like I'm pretty sure it's normal in a lot of music universities that we have a lot of international lecturers.
Oh yeah, I just suddenly remember something.
Yeah, yeah.
About the intern, intern, intern in Malaysian care. Yeah, that we actually intern in Malaysian care, but they send us to different locations.
Mhm.
So there are three main categories. One is early intervention program for autistic kids.
Yeah.
So the other one is a small factory,
Okay.
small factory in buildings.
Mhm.
So teenagers with disabilities like autism or especially for autisms and other disabilities, teenagers.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is around 20 years above.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they
Adults,
work,
young adults.
working young adults. So they work there. So we have to observe them and then help them in factory, a small factory, lah, I would say. Yeah, that one is also quite memorable experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other part is a bumblebee project.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of it. I don't know what it is, but I've heard of it. Very familiar.
It's a community-based project where Malaysian Cares propose to have some toys and games for the low-income families. So we actually went there to help them. You know, a lot of kids running, you know. Yeah, so we will play games there, and after that let them play because they are mostly from low income families, so they don't have much choice in playing or books that can read. Yeah, so that one is also interesting part lah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to our podcast today. We hope you enjoyed the topic that we delved into and you are intrigued by this field of music therapy, as we always are. The magic word is help, as Ms. Jing Wen actually mentions, that the idea is to always help people. And we found that using music, we are able to help others. If you do want to take part in this music power to help people, you can send us an email about any of the things that we discussed today at aminbob13@yahoo.com. And it's either we'll reply to you, either I'll get Ms. Jing Wen to answer on a future episode, or I'll answer to you directly. Thank you so much.